children specifically. Children are innocent, therefore they must be broken. Let me explain.
Is that an actual quote that he said? There's no way. I said Jeffrey Dahmer fused with Jeffrey Epstein. This might be Bane fused with Jeffrey Epstein. This nigga said children are innocent, they must be broken.
Seen true evil. You have not seen this man. Judge Holden. One of the most terrifying villains of all time. I have not seen someone as vile as this. You won't believe what his worst, most dark act truly is. I bring to you the world of Blood Meridian, a blood-soaked Western story. In the 1800s, coming off the heels of a Mexican-American war, gangs are committing acts of violence and atrocities all over the place. In this story, we follow a child called the Kid, who's basically a part of a gang of scalp hunters who kill Native Americans for bounty across this Western landscape. Pretty dark.
When I hear about this book, I hear that this book, not only is it impossible to be filmed, it is also very hard to read. Has anybody read this book, and is that actually factual? Because I hear the author does not use punctuation. Like, he just has continuous run-on sentences and, like, all that. Shout out Tech Road with the tier 1 sub. I go back and forth this all the time. No hold bars, who would win? And a no holds barred match. Spider-Man or Wolverine? I'll give that to Spider-Man. Might be glazed, but I'll give that to Spider-Man.
Story. And in their endeavors to take as many scalps as they can, to kill as many mofos as they can, they are led by one man. Judge Holden, who, in the estimation of many people, has been called the personification of pure evil, and there hasn't been a darker, more scary personification of pure evil in any other fictional work. He's largely known as one of the greatest villains in fiction, period. I don't read shit. The ADHD and cocaine use won't allow me to. It's just not possible anymore, right? I've destroyed my body too much. But many people were like, Zaffy, I'm a cinema guy, I'm a movie guy, but Zaffy, you need to go into the lore of Blood Meridian, because this is the most insane shit ever and is beyond any horror movie you've seen. So I'm like, okay, fuck it, why not? I've heard a lot of things about this judge. Let me go into it. And my lord, the closest thing I could compare him to in terms of books was the Baron from Dune, right? Because the Baron from Dune is also a despicable degenerate himself. But I think Judge Holden, in terms of his philosophy, goes beyond.
Have any of y'all seen Dune? I watched the movie 1 and 2. I don't think it was that bad. Maybe I'm misremembering the movie. I don't think he was that bad. Maybe in the books he's like 10 times worse. I'm gonna have to do some research on him. Y'all let me know.
The Baron from Dune. This dude is a 6'6" hairless albino with demonic eyes. You do not want to see this motherfucker crossing paths with you. Yep. If I saw this man walking across a landscape near me, I would want the place nuked from orbit.
Name with my camera.
It's either him or Calvin coming for me. I don't want any of them coming for me, all right? Let me take you on a tour through Judge Holden's worst acts, okay? And you can tell me which one you think is bad, right? Now, he's a scalp hunter. He's taken like several hundreds, even thousands of people's scalps, right? But you know what? We've seen that many times before. He's in a gang.
I might move my camera to the complete other side of the screen because he's putting everything where I'd put my... he's putting everything where I'd put my camera. So, let me move it. I'll put it right here.
The scalp hunters. What makes him so special besides the fact that he looks like a scary fuck? He's a serial murderer beyond that. He will murder people for no reason, seemingly. He'll murder random maids, kids, men, anything. Yeah, he's a child killer, y'all. But we've seen this in movies, too.
Maids is crazy.
What's so scary about this dude, Zaffy? He's a serial child molester on top of that. He bangs kids.
This is like a Jeffrey Dahmer and Jeffrey Epstein hit the fusion dance, bro. What the hell? I didn't even know he did that, bro. I've read up on him. I did not know he did that at all.
And then kills them.
No way.
Nowhere to be found in his vicinity. He will come around and tempt them. Tempt them into his dark alleyway, into his white van with sweets and candy, saying, come here, little boy. And they will not be found again. They will be molested and killed. Badly. Not to mention the incident at the saloon. Now, there is a character called the Kid, our main protagonist in this, and the story takes place like this, right? First he's a kid, and then there's a time jump where decades later he's a grown man now, and he comes across the judge again at a saloon where the judge likes to roam around naked in front of audiences talking shit. And basically what happens is they meet, They speak, and the judge says, "I'm so disappointed in you. Look what a fucking dumbass you turned out to be, man. Sympathizing little boy." He grabs up this dude and takes him to the stall with his other little girl. And it's inferred.
I don't even want to hear what he does, bro. I don't even want to hear what he does. Chat, I don't even want to hear what he does, bro. Y'all in the comments saying, did he disciple, this, that, the third? Nah, I don't want to hear what he does, bro. Ain't no way. He's worse than Am? Do y'all think he's worse than Am? I know Judge Holden, Am, and who else is usually in that conversation? It's usually those two. Those are usually the two most, like, biggest villains that are, like, the most evil villains of all time. They're the two that are always put in the same discussion. Who do y'all think is worse? Off this video, I think off child molestation alone, I would have to go, I'd have to go Judge Holden. We didn't even finish the video yet. But Am is despicable, bro. Torturing for 112 years and, like, never getting bored. I don't know. Am up there too, though. LeBron and Jordan of being the worst people of all time.
That some terrible sexual acts are performed. Now, a lot of people say, don't go near that saloon, y'all. Some shit's going down in there. It's inferred that the kid survives this incident. What's probably more realistic is he had this dude molest this little girl, forced him, made him molest her. And he got off on it.
Wow.
That is the kind of evil we're dealing with here,
wow.
folks. Now, we've seen terrible beings like this before, okay? We've seen this. We've seen degenerate, sadistic monsters before, right? But what makes him worse is his philosophy. Because among the child killing, child molesting, scalping, all this stuff, his philosophy is even more scary because it's fundamentally nihilistic, right? His core belief is that war is God. It's the ultimate trade. The ultimate game. Violence is the only true constant in the universe. Everything else is an illusion. Violence is the governing principle of reality. Then there's the whole aspect of moral nihilism. Good and evil are human constructs. They don't mean anything. The universe is fundamentally amoral. It rewards violence and strength. Might makes right. Those who are the strong. And this is not just Darwinism, natural selection, survival of the fittest. This is beyond that. This is like, the more evil and corrupt you are, the more you like to bestow your strength upon prey in an evil manner, the better. Traditional morality.
I'm not gonna lie, that is a very interesting worldview. I'm not gonna lie, when he said that, I had to, like, pause and ponder. That is a very interesting worldview, though. Like, is the universe actually amoral? Is good and bad, is that a human construct? You could debate it is. What I think is good, you might not deem as such. And vice versa. And if there's one thing that is a constant, violence is one. Killing others to get up on yourself. Animals do it all the time. It's literally, if you stripped this entire planet and you brought us down to our roots, that is the only thing that we would know to do. The most natural instincts that we got is what? Hunting, or like eating, being horny, and sleeping. That's like that is the natural three feelings every single organism on the planet got. He not wrong. I'm not gonna lie. He not. You could actually make that philosophy quote unquote believable. I'm not saying I believe it, but when you say it like that, I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, like, he might have something going on there.
Is pathetic. It's a weakness. Knowledge.
Nigga slipped horny in there. Nigga, everything gets. What are y'all talking about? Now y'all saying goon fire. Oh my god, dude. Every single organism on the planet has the need to reproduce. Have y'all seen animals, bro? Like, every organism has the feeling of, oh, I need to reproduce, or I'm horny. Like my sexual levels are high. Everybody feels that. Y'all niggas calling me the goon. Like, that's natural. That is the natural three feelings every single organism on the planet has, bro. Besides literally plants. Plants don't. I would assume not. I know they reproduce, but I'd assume not. Besides plants, that's it, bro.
Is dominion.
Come on now, bro.
Everything. This guy is smart as fuck.
Come on now.
He uses his knowledge to trap people. right? He studies, he reads biology, geology, history, everything. That's power. Peace is not natural. Entropy is. And he is an agent for universal truth.
I don't even know what that means. What's entropy,
he
bro?
believes he is a necessary force. And those who deny violence are living in a delusion. I don't know why I have a picture of Vincent D'Onofrio. Vincent D'Onofrio would have played a good Judge Holden. And I'm going to get to those who could have played an amazing Judge Holden. If this was ever to be adapted to a live screen format, I don't think Hollywood can, but we're going to get to that. The worst part about Judge Holden is his insight onto the innocent. Children specifically. Children are innocent, therefore they must be broken. Let me explain. In order to prove his philosophy...
Is that an actual quote that he said? There's no way. He might be... Yo... I said Jeffrey Dahmer fused with Jeffrey Epstein. This might be Bane fused with Jeffrey Epstein. This nigga said children are innocent, they must be broken. I pray that's not a... If that's a quote that nigga actually said, yo, you are insane. You are legitimately insane. Ain't no way. Entropy is like chaos. Entropy is a measurement of disorder, randomness, and chaos. I can't read. My fault. Damn. Y'all know that Game of Thrones scene where Littlefinger's like, chaos is a ladder. Yo, I love that. I love that scene, bro. But I did look up the definition on my phone right here. I did look it up. So thank y'all for putting it in the chat as well.
To be right, the pure innocence of children needs to be shred via molesting them, killing them, or making them do terrible things. Because once that is, the cycle of violence will continue itself, and entropy will be the lording over the world. That's why he does it. If they are broken, nothing is sacred. And one of his final lines is about how he will never die. He's dancing naked with his balls out, saying he will never die. This is his philosophy. Nothing is sacred, and I will never die. It's that line is more symbolic than you think, because he's not just talking about himself literally. What he represents, the force of entropy he represents, will never die. It cannot die. It's a never-ending flat circle. It's the most nihilistic philosophy fucking ever. Now,
literally, bro. What you gotta go through to have that be your worldview? Nigga believes children need to be broken. I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. I do know this book does take place in a very dark time. This was during, if I'm not wrong, I think this takes place during the Gold Rush. I know he said at the beginning of the video it was like during the Gold Rush, or what's the historical term when the Europeans came to manifest destiny? When the Europeans came to America and they're like, nah, God gave us this land, and they were going west to conquer everything. I'm not gonna lie, there is definitely people in history that were off those European ships that were moving just like this nigga, bro. Maybe not like molesting everything in sight, but like there was niggas back then that were moving like him, bro. If you was going all through the West, you was just killing everyone that was not pale, that was not white, anything brown or slightly darker, bro. You was just murking everything in sight. I don't know, man. I know they were like a scalping gang too. Like they would literally like cut nails off of like bodies, stuff like that, and they'd sell the body parts, things like that. They were scalpers. So, and those were actual groups that were happening back then too. Like he might be scarier than Am, because there was definitely people in real life that moved just like him, and we have historical evidence to prove that as well. I'll be honest.
Oh. I don't know if they can adapt this into a movie. I don't think so. Because unless they water him down terribly to the point where the character itself is ruined, which Hollywood tends to do all the time now, I don't think there's any point. Because in order to adapt this character, you need to hint at things that are way too dark for modern audiences to take. That are way too uncomfortable.
I think this could be adapted, though. Maybe not for like a Hollywood AAA box office movie. I said AAA, it's not a game. But like, you know what I'm saying, it may not be like a huge, like, it wouldn't be done like that. But I think there's movies that have definitely covered stuff as dark as this, right? You just can't, obviously you can't show the child molestation. Obviously you can't show like I don't know what else was in this video that you can't really show. I think anything else you can show, but you can't put that on the big screen, obviously. But there is stories in whether movies or TV shows where you could hint at it, but you don't show it. Game of Thrones hints at it with there's a character when all the people on the wall go north. There's somebody in the north that got like a bunch of daughters. They're like 11 years old or younger. This nigga just be cracking them niggas. Like, he literally keeps all of his daughters to himself. All of his daughters are his wives. You don't see them get assaulted, but it is very heavily implied. You could do the same thing here, but obviously I would never want to even have that acted. So I don't think anybody would. So I can see why that would be hard to adapt, but I don't think it's impossible to adapt. I think people might be scared to adapt it. Impossible? I don't know about that one.
Martyr on is a take, okay? This is a very depressing story about a kid who grows up to kill another kid and continue and perpetuate a cycle of violence to the point where he's forced into a stall to molest a child by the judge. Okay? This is a dark, depressing fucking story. Judge Holden's philosophy is not something you can market to modern audiences very well. A lot of them won't understand it. A lot of them will just hate it. They'll just hate it. And the fact that you can't show any of the child molestation stuff. Modern Hollywood just can't do it. And I don't blame them. Why? Who the fuck wants to show that? So, you would need to write his character in a way that shows the subtle darkness of him and all the scariness that comes with it, without actually showing the majority of the acts that he commits, which are terrible, by the way. Now, it can be done. We've seen True Detective tackle really dark things. Child molestation, killings, cult killings, adults killing kids, and all this stuff. We've seen them tackle that. And I'm going to get to True Detective when it comes to who should be cast as this character if they're ever going to do a live-action interpretation of Blood Meridian. Now, this character is evil without the cartoonish elements and without the likability. Even though he's charismatic and he can be that way, you don't like him. He's not like Heath Ledger's Joker. Okay? That's not what we're dealing with here.
That could be adaptable, though. Not every single evil character got to be likable. I think that's a problem that anime has. Not every single evil character got to be relatable. I do not need a backstory to understand where you're coming from. Sometimes you just got to be evil. Like, I'm sorry. We do not need every single bad person to be put on a plate and have pretty makeup on it so that it's easy to digest. Sometimes you gotta just have niggas be evil. Sometimes a nigga is just that terrible, and you gotta just take it as it is. I disagree with this point. Personally, y'all let me know. I think you could easily just put a villain on and just have them be evil. Maybe charismatic. You can have them be charismatic, but still evil. Like, you don't gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta water down a villain. It's like, oh, people can like him. Like, you're a villain, bro. You're not supposed to be liked. You feel me?
He's fundamentally despicable. Disgusting. Now, you could say, okay, we've seen the character, Baron from Dune. He was adapted to live action. They showed nothing of this dude. They hinted at some things, but that's it. And he's barely in the films. He's not he doesn't have a prominent role despite being an important role.
That is true.
This motherfucker
I gotta see him in the books then.
Of the movie, and he's part of the gang that the main character's a part of. He is ever present. His presence is needed. It's not like the Baron who's barely in the fucking movie of Dune. No. This guy is different. He needs to take up a large portion of screen time of this. I believe that the thing that could help Hollywood get through this, the navigating the darkness of this character without showing too much, is the casting. If you can cast the right guy who can be scary enough without showing shit, No Country for Old Men style, right? And Town Jigger probably did a lot of shit besides killing, right?
I heard the author of this book also made the No Country for Old Men too. The villain in that movie is also completely diabolical. His brain, Loki, got to be like sent to a mental institution. Like, I'm always somebody to advocate for creativity, but sometimes y'all get creative in like the completely terrible spectrum. I don't know if any of y'all seen Berserk. There are some of the drawings that Miura makes, rest in peace to the GOAT. Some of the drawings he makes for some of the demons and the monsters in there, bro, it's like, you definitely seen some things, bro. You was definitely doing rituals. Like, I'm sorry. There's some of those drawings, bro, you could not make that. You could not make that up. If you read Berserk, you know. Some of those, I'm sorry, there's no way he made that up on his own. He couldn't have.
They hint at how evil these characters are. Philip Seymour Hoffman was one of the greatest actors of all time. Rest in peace, King. He is a chameleon. And he has played weirdos before. Psychopaths, child molesters, killers. He's done it all. He can play that cold, calculated character archetype too. Have you guys seen Mission Impossible 3? I'm not saying his character in this is
great in that movie.
As bad as
He's great in that movie.
Judge Holden, but hear me out here. His villain in Mission Impossible 3 is the scariest villain in that entire franchise. Not because he can fight well, not because he nearly killed Ethan Hunt through his fight skills like Henry Cavill did. No. This dude's way of speaking, the when he supposedly had Ethan Hunt's girlfriend and threatened to pull the trigger on her, he doesn't give a fuck. When he threatens to, you have a girlfriend, I'm gonna hurt her, I'm gonna make her bleed, and then I'm gonna kill her right in front of you. Like, bro, the way he says it, he would have been an epic Judge Holden. Shave this dude bald, make him albino with red eyes, and tell me he ain't Judge Holden. The fuck?
Loki built like him too.
Rest in peace, my boy, my brother.
Oh, he died?
I love Philip Seymour.
Yo, rest in peace, bro.
James Franco did a test reel, apparently, with this actor casted as like a Judge Holden character. I think he would have been great. I think this is the same actor who played Lucifer in Supernatural. Great actor. But in my opinion, if we're picking an actor who's alive today to play Judge Holden in a live-action Blood Meridian movie, make it the guy who played Errol Childress in True Detective Season 1. If you know, you know. This is one of the most vile, disgusting villains of all time. Not because he's likable and you, oh, look how crazy he is. No. You don't want to be near him. He's a child molester / killer / ritual fanatic who's obsessed with Lovecraftian beings like the Yellow King, for fuck's sake. That's what he does. He is pure evil. And this actor
Never seen
is
this show
very
either.
good at playing pure evil characters. He plays villains all the fucking time. I think he did play one of the thugs or some dude who got killed by the Joker in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker film by getting stabbed with a scissor. That was funny as fuck. But this dude is great. Shave his head, make him albino, he is Judge Holden. I'm telling you, he's the one. Anyone who's seen True Detective knows he's the one. When you see this guy speak, and this guy plays an inbred who fucks his own sister, who gets off on kids, ties them up, takes them to the woods, him with a bunch of elites do terrible
What
things
is with these niggas and molesting children? That's what I'm saying.
And everything. Like, he is.
I don't even know how bro knows all these actors that has played characters that molest children. I don't even know how this nigga know that, bro. Like, hey man, and is he just gonna keep bringing up more actors? Fair. I don't think I gotta see the rest of that then.
It did end. How about?
But hey, vid on Judge Holden. I think he's worse than Am. Y'all let me know. Shout out Zaffy for this video. Like, comment, subscribe.